America's Man of the Year. He had it right. 4 or 5 hours of CIA type interrogation of me. Why was I not the best son in America? Why was I such a lousy son? After 4 or 5 hours of CIA type interrogation, he follows me down to my room. I get in bed and there he is, feeling up my legs like this. He's saying, "You're gonna be great. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be great." He's saying that to the applause of this society. It gives him a 21 gun salute.
Poor man.
Year.
He had it right.
He had it right.
Be great.
Be great.
Yeah.
That's America.
Be great like that.
He had it right. You will be great. At what? Doesn't matter. Man of the Year. You're Man of the Year here in America. I gotta say that the interpretation that the person I've been calling Bishuasi is a Catholic who's not lying about her love for me. The interpretation that she's a Catholic wanting to bring me back into the church. This could be the correct interpretation. In other words, she's not lying. She's not lying in terms of, let's say, loving me if she can bring me back from my wayward wandering away from Catholicism. That she loves me, she loves my soul and all, and she's being informed about the progress I'm making under love for her, okay? And all of her behavior is explainable then, in other words, in why she hasn't gotten in touch with me, because I'm not going back to becoming a Catholic. So you see what I'm saying? In other words, she is not lying. She is in love with this person who she believes she's going to bring back to the church. And so for that reason, she's not lying. And she actually believes this. She actually believes that I'm a wayward soul that needs this sympathetic luring back to Catholicism. When she is going to perhaps, let's say, have me divorce my wife and then marry her, if it's possible. This is the whole fantastic line of reasoning she would be following, with the encouragement of whatever intelligence community is working with her. And that would explain why she's not getting in touch with me. That would be the reason. She has no intention of getting in touch with me as long as I remain Jewish. And that would explain what's going on here. It would. I gotta say, it's a very regretful interpretation I'd have to make. If that's true, I gotta say, this is despicable. It's absolutely despicable, and it's as evil is. I don't say it is, but I say that explanation would work as an explanation of why this person is not getting in touch with me when she could. I'm saying that could be the reason. I'm not saying I believe it, but I'm saying it's a possibility. And let me add that she could have been fired for this. In other words, the people at her station saw her making these signs to me and so on, and they fired her. So she was thinking, wow, this is so unfair that you're going to fire me for making these signs to this person when nobody gives a damn whether I make signs, and they don't know what they mean, and it doesn't matter. But the people at that station felt that this was unethical behavior on her part, because maybe they were somehow aware that the intelligence community was playing me this way. So from this point of view, although I can't say this, it's possible that the station there is actually on my side in this matter. It's not on her side. It's on my side, meaning it felt that she was acting abusively this way and unethically, and fired her for unethical behavior. And for that, and you would agree with me. I mean, I'm saying that is unethical. It's despicable if she's doing that. But so if the station agrees with that, the station is no enemy of mine. It never has been. That doesn't mean I could have gone to that station and it would have introduced me to her. No, it wouldn't have done that. It wouldn't have allowed me to have anything to do with her. But from the point of view of agreement or disagreement that her behavior is not right in any way by what she's doing, the station agrees with me that it's not right what she's doing. And they fired her for that reason. However, it's no friend of mine. You can't say that. Because, let's say I picked up those signs and I went there and say, oh, yeah, sure. Wait a minute. We'll let you know she's here and that you're a fan and want to talk to her and ask her if she'd like to see you. Then I could have at least established contact with her and asked her some questions. Did you make these signs? What did you mean by it? And I might have found out by talking to her what I found out when I talked to that woman at the... she was acting like she was my true love there at the end. And I got her email address and sent her a few emails. And I got these zany responses. I was thinking, true love, whatever this is, it's not that. So I said bye-bye to her quickly. When I found out what the hell was going on. Well, I could have found that out if I'd have met with this person, okay? Did you make the signs? Why did you make the signs? And so on. If I got zany answers back, I would have said bye-bye, same way. See, I liked it. But the whole thing here is I'm checking out reality. I'm supposed to be crazy as a hoot owl. I don't do that. Well, I've been doing that, and I was doing that. And, well, with this, I'm not going to go into it, but I was not allowed to talk to, and that was the whole reason for the conflict between me and that station. I wanted to talk to her and find out from her, okay? And they wouldn't allow it. And they wouldn't allow it because my parents were there telling them I was crazy, which is, first of all, in terms of what they taught me in the mental prisons, that was absolutely wrong. What my parents were doing and what that station was doing. They were wrong. Even if I were really a schizophrenic, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was not. So let me conclude this particular footnote by saying that if it happens to be true that this person I've been calling Bishuasi is not a Catholic playing a game like this, and she really is in love with me the way it looks, and it's not to convert me back to the church or anything, and she's no friends of anybody in the intelligence community. She's no friends with anybody there. She's a woman in love with a man. For real? Then if, as I said from the beginning, if she and I are able to get together against all the opposition we're facing, this is going to completely wreck any argument that society might have had that it was in any way right for what it did to me back in 1988.
You don't tell your age.
This-
What is
This will completely wreck that. And
this?
anybody
Well, high school
taking a look at this worldwide will say,
DC's
it's clear that what they did to him back in 1988 was injustice. It's as clear as day. And I don't have to go to court or anything for it. It'll just be there. It's clear as day in everybody's mind that what they did to this guy in 1988 is reprehensible. I don't have to go to court, and I'm going to be getting justice, a form of poetic justice this way. So for this reason, we are encountering all this opposition. This is an even better explanation that she's a Catholic bringing me back to church. The better explanation is the powers that wrecked my life back in 1988 do not want me and her to get together because of what I just said. I will not have to go to a court to show the world just how reprehensible, how unjust the treatment I received in 1988 was. It'll be as clear as day to everybody worldwide. No court necessary. And that's why these people in power do not want this to happen. Let me comment further that it's clear to me that Bishuasi's appearance in her last times on TV that I've seen, I stopped watching her after the last one, which was, I'm not sure, was it January 2025 or was it January 20? No, it must have been January 25, somewhere around there was the last time I watched her on TV. And I said, I'm not watching any more TV. Oh, also I said, I'm not going to look her up on computer because that I'd stopped watching TV. And so the only way I was going to find out if she ever came back on TV was going to be if I saw on YouTube that it was filmed. She had appeared on TV because every time she appeared, a YouTube would appear, and sometimes it would appear covered by who? The name of a website that is also the name of in Miami, Florida. Okay, so anyway, that's just a coincidence. I don't think so. I don't think that I ever thought that I'd see him and his name. But he got caught on TV because something came up at his office, and there he was on TV unexpectedly. And I saw him. I saw him that day. I had the TV on. He said, now, these people from the Miami office of this secret policing agency, here they are due to this, that, or the other. In some way, they would never have been on TV, and they never expected to be on. Like what? Like when that trained bald eagle gets caught at the security gate of that North Carolina town, Charleston. Well, I forget the name of the damn town. North Carolina, where we stayed, Charlotte. A trained bald eagle. I've never seen such a thing in my entire life, but I'm watching TV and comes on and says, this trained bald eagle was stopped at the security gate of the Charlotte airport. I said, trained bald eagle, because I had seen this bald eagle. I said, did these people bring this bald eagle here and let it go on the other side of this high school to make it look like God has given me a sign? I said, this looks fake. Because I don't see bald eagles, you know. And here comes one over this high school where my wife and I are going to play tennis directly overhead. And I say, this looks fake. And I said, hold on. No one would do this to you. But apparently they did. They were faking me with with a fake bald eagle. And I came and they shot a dead bird at my window. And the bird hit the window and went down and was dead on the ground. I went down and looked and I said, the eye of this bird is like the eye of fish that have been dead for a long time. Which I saw somewhere online. If you're going to buy fish somewhere and you want them to be fairly fresh, look at their eye. Check out the eye of that fish, because a fish that's been dead a long time has a certain look to its eye, right? So I looked at the eye of this bird and I said, this bird was already dead. Look at the eyes of this bird. There's no way this bird just died. And I had seen a bird hit a window like that before. It fell down and it got up and flew off. It went crashing right into a window, just like the one that hit my window, and it got up, got back up and flew off. Well, this one didn't fly off, and I checked out the eye. I said, this was shot at my window like that human cannonball that stayed at Ring's Rest that my mother described. It was a man shot out of a cannon. They shot a bird out of something and shot it at my window. Okay? Oh, another sign from God. So this is telling me that Catholics are a major part of this intelligence community harassment of me and my wife. However, who it is exactly, I'm baffled. Because I wonder, how could anybody be this evil and take the risk of being caught? I'd say if it's a shared guilt, like you see in that movie about the train, what's it called? It's an Agatha Christie story, and there's a murder, and this Monsieur Poirot is going to solve it. And he does. He says, well, here's how the murder happened. Every single person on this train, the Orient Express, every single person participated in this murder so that everybody here would be guilty. Everybody went, stabbed the victim, and moved on. So, in the same way, the intelligence community is sharing the guilt of what's happening to me and my wife so that everybody's guilty. What are you going to do? Accuse everybody the way you would in that movie? That detective says, everybody here is guilty of the murder. Okay, so those are my thoughts in this area. Today is, I'm not sure. What is the date? Today is Friday, 16th of January, 2026. It's 6:04 a.m. East Coast, United States, Washington, D.C. I just realized I got off on a tangent. I gotta say, in the last appearances of Bishuasi that I watched, her appearance definitely has been showing strain. But I'm happy about that. No, this is more confirmation to me that she is not leading me on as a Catholic, trying to bring me back to the church. She's not doing that. She is a woman in love. Like man and woman love each other, that. She's not trying to bring me back to the church or anything of the kind. She might even be Catholic. I wouldn't know. Somehow I think she might be Jewish, but that could be just a wish fulfillment of my mental strain, wish fulfilling that she'd be Jewish when she's not even close. I wouldn't know. But I say that the fact that her face and even her hair is showing marks of strain. I would show a picture here, but I can't do it with the app that I'm using. I'm just using the photography app. But in that blue dress that she wears a second time, in these appearances she's made since she stopped appearing regularly on 31st March 2023. The second blue dress appearance, her face and hair show that she's under immense strain. Okay? Her her hair looks bad, and her face is white in a way that it's not attractive, and her it's like it's pasty almost, and it's, how do I describe this? It's like skeletal almost. The way the strain is like flattening the expressiveness of her features. Okay, now you can see that I'm not showing a lot of strain here. I'm not at all, but I'm not appearing before millions of people in a hostile environment where other people where I work are shooting an evil eye at me, stink eye, and so on, and I'm being fired and all these, and I'm probably being harassed all over the place. The way my wife and I are being harassed all over the place, she's being harassed all over the place. She doesn't have a husband to give her any kind of support. Maybe she's completely alone in her apartment, and she doesn't have friends. She might not even have a family. No family, no friends. I think she has a brother in Australia. What help is that to her? And what's their relationship? He's in Australia. She's in Japan. They're real close. Why would he be in Australia if they're real close? Where's her parents? She bought her parents an apartment in Los Angeles where they stay. I don't know about that. So, well, at any rate, she's a middle-aged woman living alone. Probably she doesn't have friends. She doesn't have a social network. She's in trouble at work. She's in love, and she can't get in touch with this person. She's being harassed. The way we're being harassed, whatever they're doing to harass her, it's individually applied to her. With me, they got dogs and they're following me and so on, and they're in my phone in certain ways, and they're doing stuff tailored to upset me. Well, my wife has her own individualized harassment program as well. She's being harassed differently than I am, and she doesn't even understand what's happening to me. Okay, I do understand what's happening to her, but the harassment's being applied to her. They don't hit me the way they do her. They're not upsetting to me the way they are to her. And so, if I suggest that we're being followed or something, this is to her. What are you talking about, right? She doesn't understand. Or the dogs or anything. She doesn't understand this kind of thing. So this is the way these harassment campaigns are being applied. So, however Bishuasi is being harassed, once again, it probably wouldn't. I'd say, this is harassment. I don't get it. And my wife might say the same. But to her, the way they've set it up is deeply disturbing to her, whatever they're doing. So she's being harassed. She's in trouble at work. She's lost her job. She probably been trying to get another job, and she can't. She's been blacklisted out of broadcasting. She may be having money troubles. I'm saying she's wealthy. What if she isn't? So she's having money problems. She doesn't have any friends. She's being harassed all over the place in ways that are deeply disturbing to her. And her appearance is showing all the strain, as I said. And in the last time she appeared, she appears like a German Fraulein. And she gives the finger to the camera, which is something she wouldn't do, okay? So you could say that she's being provoked so badly that she's going to do something like that. She's going to give a finger to that camera. Give the finger to the camera, okay? And in that way, she's being provoked the way I was provoked in the things I normally wouldn't do either. And I'm being provoked now, which is why I'm screaming in my car while driving, because I'm being provoked as well. And that's the result of the provocations here. So those are my thoughts. I wanted to say that she looks like she's showing the strain. Now, that's all I wanted to say in this particular note. I'm not going to go rambling on. I could say more, but let me just stop. A little more about the strain that she's showing, what it means. What this strain in her face shows probably is she is not a bisexual woman. She is not in any kind of secret police, the CIA trying to escape or anything. She's nothing of the kind. And that video about two people trying to escape the CIA, it was put on there by the or some other secret policing agency to mislead me, which is why I stopped looking at the internet as a source of information about her. Like once the powers got wind that we were able to successfully communicate on over that international communication highway, they immediately started to mix things up, and that's one of the ways. So I said, this is not trustworthy anymore. And I stopped looking at it. I haven't looked at it for a long time. Maybe a year, I don't know how long. Quite a long time now, and I'm not going to go back to looking at it. And so I'm saying that this strain her face is showing, it's telling me that she is in love with me for real. She's not a Catholic bringing me back to the church. She's not a former CIA agent trying to escape the CIA. She's not a bisexual woman. She's a heterosexual woman in love with me. That's what that strain tells me. See this extension cord here? Right here. Okay. This extension cord used to have tight-fitting sockets in it. And I noticed, for no reason, the sockets seem to have expanded so that this thing, when I plug things into it, they're often coming loose real easily. So, these are wires that like you jiggle just a little when I'm moving around. And so the connections come loose. And, I'm often thinking I'm charging something and nothing's happening. Well, this was a great extension cord, take my word for it. Because I've often heard people say, trust me. Anyway, so this was a great extension cord, and it was tight-fitting. You have to take my word for this. And I'm saying to myself, is this evidence of the microwave record that this thing has expanded? Because heat expands things, cold contracts. And we're in a room that is so cold, we're using propane heating. If we don't have heat, we're not using central heating in our house to save money. Okay? And here we are. Look at my wife. She's all bundled up, and so am I. Look at me. I'm all bundled up. And so, in the cold here, you would think that this would have contracted, right? So why is it that it's become loose like this? Through repeated use? I don't think so. I've got another extension cord from way back when, and it's still tight-fitting. I rarely use it. I don't think it has this special, what is this, the neutral thing here that's, what do you call it? You get a positive and a negative charges on the socket there. That's whatever the hell that other thing is called. It'll keep a fire from starting. It's a safety measure. Somehow, I just can't remember. that light in there. Which means I wired that myself. Yes, I've often done that in the house. I get in there and I do the wiring, the black wire, the red wire, and so on, and the neutral wire. Okay, so this is the neutral pole here, and how that works, I don't understand science of it, but I gotta say, from what I read about Edison, he didn't understand how electricity worked. Yeah, he invented the light bulb. He invented that light bulb through trial and error, but he didn't understand electricity. And I read that a lot of people today, to this day, there's lots about electricity they don't understand at all. To this day, just they know that it works in certain ways and they use it, but they don't understand how it works completely. Okay, so back to this. I'm saying here that this could be evidence that microwaves have been hitting this, and microwaves are going to do what? They're going to heat this up, even if it's just a little. But through time, right? It's been how many years? About 40 years I've been under microwaves, right? So here's something here. Maybe these folks intentionally aimed their weapon at this to create bad reception here for the plugs I use and create this problem for me. They are involved in microcosmic harassments of this kind. I'm saying their campaigns they wage on individuals, on my wife, on me, for example, these are tailor-made for each individual, and they are like what? They are like NASA watching its astronauts in a space capsule during a launch into space, wherever it might have been. We watched those from the beginning, right? The Mercury capsules going up with somebody like John Glenn in them. And then later the Apollo flights, Apollo 11 to the moon. And what's happening? Those astronauts are being watched on a microcosmic level to measure everything and watch everything that's happening with them. And I'm saying that the same kind of thing is happening to me and my wife. And I will say that the person we rented this house to had a name that seemed an obvious tip-off that she was an undercover something or other in one of these secret policing agencies. Her name was obviously an admission that was happening. Okay? So when we come back, when we're forced back to this house, after trying to live in Colorado unsuccessfully, being so badly harassed, we leave an apartment 2 months before the lease is up. Our dog is poisoned. We have to bury our dog out there on the land we bought, full cash price at the time we bought it. And we have to leave there under all the harassments we experienced here. We've moved the entirety of this house. Everything you see here is new from before. None of this furniture was here before. None of it. The lights, the bed, the dresser, whatever you call that over there. It's all Goodwill furniture we've refurnished the house with. We moved the entirety, this woman here and me, when we were in our 60s, I'm now over 70. We were in our 60s. We, by ourselves, we moved everything in this house in a 30-some foot rented truck all the way across the United States. Yeah, I'm full out crazy, and I did all these things without issue. Well, I'm slipping into emotional blackout here, but I'm saying that, no, I'm in emotional blackout. I don't remember what I was talking about. Let's see, what was it? This here. I'm saying we've been so harassed that our harassers will get down to this microcosmic level like this. And they will have caused this through repeated heatings of this. Microwaves are going to heat this up, even if it's infinitesimally. But repeated shots of microwave at this I'm no scientist in this area, but the principles I'm mentioning here, they are scientifically valid. I'm saying that eventually they got this thing to become loose the way it is, and it just suddenly it's not loose. Well, it's loose, and these connections here are always coming disconnected. So I think I'm charging my phone, and I'm not. This is no problem. This is a problem when you add up all these tiny things that they're doing. This kind of thing, the things on our phones. We walk out our front door and there's somebody standing there with a dog, okay? They're watching every movement we make in this house. And I was saying, the person who was in here could have festooned this house with all the latest in spyware, of which I know nothing, okay? And I'm not going to try to learn about it either. But she was here for as long as we were not here, which was about 4 years. And I'm sure this house has got every possible spyware in it, cameras, microphones, everything. And so we're being watched this way. Now, it could be that all this, we're not being watched in the house. There's no spyware in here at all, maybe. Okay, let's just say that's true. Well, that is from a neighbor's house, maybe. And there are ways that these folks can watch from a neighbor's house, or they can put something in a tree. There's trees right outside our house here, and that is near enough to do whatever they need to do. They can hear inside here, see inside here, maybe. Good God knows. And I'm saying they put a microchip of some kind in my tooth during a routine dental appointment. And that's got me being followed and listened to, and everything I eat is noticed by this chip or whatever you call that, this electrode. And as soon as anything goes down my throat, drink or food, the message goes to a satellite, which triggers microwaves hitting me in the head, and I'm within however it is, because sometimes it's just instantaneous. If the satellite is within range, right? I read somewhere that in like 5 minutes on the internet that these satellites might be over your head maybe 3 hours, and then they're out of range, right? So if I'm eating and there's no weapon like in range for like a half hour, you get exhausted till a half hour that a satellite with the weapon gets in range and bombards my head. It's not consistent, and that's the reason. So anyway, there's all these many tiny things, one after another. Okay? Like what? Like the arrows in this coconut head that I've shot in here, right? Each arrow is one of these tiny infinitesimal microcosmic harassments, okay? And it's going to hit its target. And they got thousands of these on me and my wife. From that little thing there to some of the things I just mentioned, and I could go on and on and on and on. So, this incredible thing just happened. I just reached for my wristwatch, which shouldn't have been off my wrist. It fell off, I guess, because suddenly this damn thing came loose. This has never happened to me in my entire life with these kind of watches. Now, I was just talking about things swelling up or under microwaves or contracting in the cold, okay? And, well, haven't I said that the bad guys have been able to get in here and change the time in this watch? How they're doing that, I don't know. But what if they just released hold on this watch with whatever they were spraying at it in electromagnetic energy to be able to change times on it? Let me see. What time is it, actually? Okay, here's another watch here. This is the time in Tokyo right now. It's 6:14 a.m. on a Thursday, okay, the 22nd. So here, where there's a 14-hour difference, it's now 4:14 roughly, or 4:13 or 4:12 on that watch here, and it's in the afternoon here. So that is the right time. It could be a minute or two off. Anyway, I've been saying that these folks, they've been into my watches changing times on them, okay? They're often in there doing that. Here's another watch here that I have around my neck. This was my go-to watch, and then he started to mess with the time in there. So I have this. This should be set to the time in Israel, okay? Which is a 6-hour difference, I think. No, wait a minute, 7-hour difference. It's 6-hour difference with Europe, like Italy. 7 hours with Israel. So let's see what it says here. It says 11, hard to read this. Says 11:21. So 7 and 4 is 11. And it's 21 minutes after the hour. They play with the time this way. Here it's 14, so there's a 7-minute difference here from the time on this watch. And they're playing with the numbers there, 7 being symbolic, a symbolic number. So Israel is 7 hours ahead. Okay, so in Israel, it's now 11-something at night. And there's a 7-minute difference as well, which is, I don't know, it's some kind of message that these harassers are trying to give me. Now, why did this, I'm talking about electromagnetism having an effect of heat when applied in certain ways, like microwaves cause heat. And suddenly, for the first time in my life, my watch comes apart. And I'm looking at it, and I see that this thing here, this has come loose, and it looks to me like it shrunk. Because look at this. I got to try to do this without messing up what I'm looking at here. Let me get this here. Okay. So it looks to me like this, whatever it is called, has shrunk. Because let's see, we're going to put this. Look at this. This is shrunk, which means either this shrunk or the watch itself. Look at this. It's kind of stuck there, like heat applied to this caused this to get stuck in there. It got heated up, and this was probably heated, contracted like that, and it caused this problem. So this is supposed to be a miracle. I was really, a miracle. I'm another prophet. God has spoken to me. I'm Fat Albert. I'm Fat Albert. No, this is science. This is no message from God, okay? So these folks, they are giving evidence to everybody in the world that they are doing these things right now to me. This is more evidence right here. Now, how this happens scientifically, I don't know, but this was never loose like that. These are very hard to get in there. You know, for me, it often takes a long time to get these things in there. And, they fit in one end like this. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, that goes in the hole there, and then you fit this one in the hole up on this end. I'm going to drop this. These are hard to handle, and they get lost when you drop them and so on. But anyway, take my word for it. Well, wait a minute. If this is going to go on the rest of my life, I'm in no hurry. So I'll spend as much as time on this as I need. So let me look at this. Turn the light on. Get some light in here. Okay, so I could also turn the flashlight. I could turn the flashlight on the phone. I hit it 3 times. 4. Still nothing. 5. I'm hitting the light that's supposed to come on. I don't know. 7 times and it comes on. Another sign that there's somebody in my phone messing with me, okay? Now, there's the hole. I don't know if you can see that. There it is there. This fits in that hole. And then this comes into a hole on the other end. Now it's once again, now it's back to the way it's supposed to be. This will work if I set the watch back together. Okay, so let me do that. Should work. This goes in here. These pinch in, so. Do I believe this is God? No, I do not. These are these people, and their technology is a nation's technology. This is technology that would put a person on the moon. That's how advanced they are. These are spy agencies doing this. National spy agency. Yeah, sounds crazy. Well, I don't care what it sounds like. Here's the evidence. One day, maybe we'll have somebody in court under oath. Now, are people in the secret policing agencies, are they required to answer questions under oath? Let's say they're a member of one or another secret policing agency. And you ask them, did you shoot microwaves at this watch to cause this? Or did you shoot any kind of microwave or electromagnetic energy or whatever kind of energy could have caused this? Did you do that? Would they have to answer that question under oath? They might say, I am a member of this or that secret policing agency. We take an oath to the United States that we will not answer questions of that kind, and we cannot be prosecuted for not answering. Is that the way it is? Maybe it is. I don't know. Well, anyway, the watch is fixed, and I got to say, I put that together so easily. That is the first time I've ever done that easily, and I've done it on camera. Well, there you go. This just happened, and I consider it evidence of what I was just talking about for a good many minutes recently. Now, to finish this up, when I was working as a senior research analyst, okay, at a job I had no background in and no interest in, although I got to say I'm just about interested in anything, but I would never have chosen a career like the one I worked to get to retirement. I'm grateful that I was able to work that job. Okay? Believe me. So, I forget what the hell I was wanting to say here. I forgot. I'm in emotional blackout. So, let me say that it may take the rest of my life with stuff like this where no one believes anything I'm saying, and I go through example after example like this, but I'm saying if it takes that long, it takes that long. I am not going to give in any way to these harassers. And I will go on with my opposition to them until they're all in jail as they ought to be, or they get worse punishments in jail. Maybe they get sentenced to death for treason or God knows what. So I'll just finish with that.